I bought a new gold coin. I think, though, that I've probably exhausted that topic. The honeymoon's over there. No real remaining mystery when I do. So, we're going to talk about a little bit more than that. And who knows? Maybe I bought two. Okay, so I mentioned that I made a purchase last week, and it's something that I've never seen in person before. I'm going to show it in a minute, but first I want to cover some backstory on this one. It's not really backstory on the coin, it's more just backstory on buying in 2022 in general. And there are a lot of different ideas mixed into the topic of what to buy these days. You have popularity, premium, 22K versus 24 karat, what's easy to sell, what isn't. And then I suppose there's what you already have. All of that's a factor. So let's run through some of that before talking about the specific coin. So let's just back up to last week. I stopped into a local shop and I swapped some coins. I've never really done that before. I swapped a Britannia for an eagle. I had to give $30 to do it. The price of the coins is different. That all made sense. Anyway, it wasn't that I didn't like the Britannia, so I'm not going to do any kind of dive into why anyone would do something like this. I just wanted to see if I could. And this isn't a big deal, but I have been looking at my coins, maybe wondering if I should consolidate, because my goal is to keep everything organized and easy to move. And a tube of like coins is about as organized as it gets. And at 20 coins, ideally that tube would be full of the most popular option that I could get a hold of, or at least one of the most popular options. But if I can easily swap, and that all depends on having a local dealer willing to do it, well, that opens up what I can buy in the first place. I don't necessarily have to buy only one thing over and over. Okay, so that Britannia that I bought, that I swapped out, I bought that at 3.5% premium. I buy Eagles for 5 or 6%, so at the $30 that I had to give, I came out even, maybe even a little bit ahead. And I'm not trying to take advantage of a local dealer here. This just opens up a few possibilities. So, quick note on that Britannia. I didn't sell it, I guess swap it, because I ended up thinking it was a bad choice. For the price, I actually think the Britannia is probably the best buy. The security features, they make it easy to verify. You don't have to go spend $1,200 on a metalytic scanner. And even though the Britannias just haven't been popular in the regions where I hang out, I think that will probably change over time based on the new features. So clearly the Britannia didn't hook me, but there's nothing wrong with it. And the Royal Mint actually has a lot of really great options. The only downside on the coins is the Queen. And I don't have any special feelings about her here. It's just, that's what it is. She's a Queen of England. Of course she's going to be on the coins. I just rather have something else. And honestly, I can't think of a living human that I would like to have on my gold. And the reason that I swapped to an eagle rather than something else is simple. That's what he had. Now, I'm 2 away from my updated goals for both the Eagles and the Buffaloes, so I would have gone for either one. Eagles are still the most popular coin here in the United States and the coin I have the most of, so there was no hesitation. But I am planning to be done with at least 1 ounce Eagles for a while once I grab those final 2. And this gets us into the 22 karat versus 24 karat coin debate. And I don't think that there's actually a big debate here. Really, you're either from a country that doesn't discriminate against 22 karat or you are. The US does not, and the Eagle is more popular than the Buffalo. But one reason that I'm probably done with the Eagles for a while is that I prefer 24 karat going forward. If I had to guess, I'd say it's more likely that all gold bullion will be 24 karat in the future, and that's been driving me more toward the Buffaloes lately. Now, the Eagle and the Krugerrand are still the most popular gold bullion coins in the world, so this isn't something that I think is a near-term consideration, but it's there. And this has me looking more closely at 24 karat options now after years and years of focusing on Eagles first. So let's look at a few. The Canadian Maple Leaf, that's an easy 24 karat option to me. It's one of the most popular coins in the world. It's one of my favorites. It's one that I have a few of. And I could buy 24 of these, I guess, and not really notice a whole lot of difference from the Buffaloes. I could sell them easily, locally. So could my kids. I guess hypothetically, Philharmonics would be pretty similar, but if I'm trying to keep everything uniform, the Britannias and the Kangaroos are effectively the same size as the Eagles and the Buffaloes and the Krugs, but the CMLs are noticeably smaller in diameter and the fills are noticeably larger. That just means that I can't keep them in the same tubes with my preferred capsules. It's a little thing, but it bugs me. And going forward, I've been thinking the Britannia or maybe even the Kangaroo are possibly better options than the Maple Leafs, simply because they're cheaper, and then not being subject to the 1099B reporting and not being a unique size, well, that's an added bonus. But whatever it is in my brain that decides what I want, the non-logical part, just hasn't gotten on board with either option, the Britannia or the Kangaroo. They're fine. Both are cool. They're different cool. The Britannia is a cool sculptural image. The Kangaroo, well, whatever. The Kangaroo is fine. Sometimes they're pretty good. Sometimes they aren't. But the new font that Perth Mint is using is fun, and I don't have anything bad to say about them. Both mints, though, the Royal Mint and the Perth Mint, put out really nice series coins. I didn't get drawn in on the Queen's Beasts, but that might have just been about timing. But Perth Mint hooked me with the Lunars and also with the Chinese Myths and Legends series, and a few one-offs like the Swans. Now, none of these would be my first choice if I was just starting out, but if I like the series coins from a mint, I guess I'm going to be more interested in the primary coin that they put out, simply because they're similar in size and aesthetics to the series coins that I like. I could keep Kangaroos with my Dragons and Tigers and Swans. I could keep Britannias with my Queen's Beasts. At least I could if I had any. Okay, so that finally gets me to what I bought. This is a 2022 Great Britain Royal Arms 1 ounce gold coin. Now it's a BU, but the Royal Mint and the Perth Mint and the Royal Canadian Mint for that matter all put out BU coins that other mints, not going to name names, would call a reverse proof. Now I don't know my heraldry as well as I should, but the Shields quarters represent England, Scotland, and Ireland. And then surrounding it we have the English lion, the Scottish unicorn. This would probably have deeper meaning for me if I was English, but I'm not. So I like the history represented here, but I can only get so excited that I peak. I just think that this is a really cool coin. I wish the US Mint would bring back the heraldic eagle to the coins. I like the symbolism. I also like the imagery. It just looks more official, more important than a close-up of an eagle giving you the stink eye. Now the Queen, of course, isn't going anywhere. It's the same design as the Britannia, so it's not bad. There are worse images of the Queen. I'm looking at you, Canada, but again, I'd rather not have living people on my coins personally. But I'm just wasting oxygen there, obviously. Nothing's going to change. So I picked this one up on pre-order. I picked it up in March. Spot was about $50 cheaper than it is today, and if you're paying attention, I mentioned that I bought it last week. Well, that coin that I bought last week is actually another one of these. I figured there was a chance that I'd really like it and then wish that I had another, and I would wish that after they became harder to find. That's how it's been happening lately. So I grabbed a second. It was, of course, sent to another state. It's my fault, but I'm going to have to run it down. It's just never a great feeling having a gold coin sitting in a P.O. box a state or two away. So I don't know how popular this particular coin will be, but I thought it was a good test to get back into the Britannia, maybe buying them more regularly. Who knows? I'm not sure if I'm there yet. But the Eagles have gotten a little bit boring to me. The Buffaloes are great, but I like having a second option as well. And I'm not sure if the Britannia beats the Maple Leaf, but it's nice to have all 32 millimeter diameter coins. They'd all be that way. We wouldn't have recently living humans on coins if it was up to me, but it's not. So let us know what you think. Do you have a preference between Britannias and Kangaroos? Does it even matter? Maybe you stick to regional coins only. If you want to tell us that unicorns or queens don't belong on coins also, feel free. We can't all like fancy things, but while you're there, just hit that like button regardless. If you found any of this interesting, be sure you're subscribed with that notification bell turned on if you'd like to see more on the topic. And if you're still here, thanks again for watching. I always appreciate your time. Take care.